Hi, this is Michelle again with Michelle Bell's Gaming, and today I'm going to do a follow-up to my review of the PokeFami DX here. Someone in the comments asked me, does this work with add-on chip games like the Super FX chip and so on? And I thought, well, hey, might as well make a video for it. So the first game we're going to try out is Doom, the Japanese version of Doom, and I'm using a Super Nintendo controller just to make things a little bit easier for me. And we'll go ahead and turn it on and you can see how it works. I don't know what chip Doom has in it, but whatever chip it has in it, it does, as you can see, does work. Of course, this is a classic PC game that was ported. No problems there. Strafing, all that good stuff. Okay. Now, this is the important part. Add-on chip games have extra teeth on them. And so you have to be very careful when removing the cartridges and putting the cartridges in, because these little teeth in here, you might not be able to see very well, they can get bent pretty easily. You can see some of those teeth look a little bit bent as it is. And then, of course, they won't make a good contact, and you can't get your games to run. So this is a big problem with this PokeFami DX. It's not too hard to straighten them back out, but sometimes they just don't want to make a good contact even after you've done that. So the next game we're going to try out is Rockman X2, which I believe uses the Capcom SP1 chip, or SPC1, I think it is. Known for the legendary green biker dude, as you can see there in the background. This game is also famous for, in emulators, oftentimes, usually, it will reset after you beat the opening demo stage as a form of copy protection. Green biker dude, never forget! This version does not do that. This runs no problems after the bonus stage. Definitely not a problem there, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's move on to X3, which hopefully will work. I had to do some super cleaning on it to get it to run a little bit earlier. Some of these cartridges have just been a little bit problematic. Not really a problem so much with the system, just with the cartridges being old and dirty and needing a lot of really intense cleaning. But as you can see, this loads up, no problem. I believe this also has the SPC1 chip, so no surprise there. Okay. Looks good on here too, honestly. This opening demo is quite nice. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to Yoshi 3. This is a really pretty cute game if you've ever seen this game before. It has a watercolor graphic style that's, I think, perhaps hard to run without an add-on chip, but also looks really good on the system. And it actually looks pretty good on here too, even for an LCD screen. As you can see, no problems there. And you can see what I mean about the watercolor style. It's really cute. Okay. So since we've already done one Kirby game, let's go on to Kirby Super Deluxe, otherwise known as Kirby Super Star. A legend in the Kirby world, re-released later for the DS. And as you can see, here it goes. No problem. And just because this game is such a unique thing, we'll load up a stage here. Because this is a weird... Oh, oops, no. This is a weird thing with games inside of games. It's kind of a mini-game game, but they're not mini-games. They're kind of multiple smaller full games. And as you can see, no problems there. Carefully remove the game from the cartridge slot. So now, let's go on to Star Fox. This is the game that everyone is usually most interested in because it's the kind of the first and most major example of the what's the name of that chip? The FX chip, the Super FX chip. And as you can see here, it is running just fine. Main menu screen. Here is the sort of the control menus, and you can test it out. Do a barrel roll. Come on. There you go. So yeah, that's doing well. And if I wanted to, I can go to training mode and show you. No problems there. Okay. The next game, I'll go ahead and just show you now. The Super Game Boy 2. I also have a Super Game Boy 1, but they're basically identical. The only major difference between the 1 and the 2 is that the custom borders are different. Like the built-in borders, I mean, are different. And there's a communication port. The multiplayer port is there. Now, one thing I have noticed about this is that the Game Boy sound emulation is not very good on here. Something about the way it runs the sound chip just doesn't seem to work as well. It's loud and kind of distorted, and other games are a little bit more distorted. Most are okay. Pokemon, I've noticed, has been a problem. But as you can see, it does have the custom borders, and it does load up properly. Also, these are Japanese Pokemon games, which are kind of glitchy to begin with, so there could just be some level of the game itself being a problem. That did not want to come out of there very well. And as you can see, here, I'll show you, if you can see, one of the pins has gotten bent while removing that Super Game Boy, which can be a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and push that back down with this little screwdriver here that I've got. And then move on to the next game and see if we can get that to work. Hopefully this pin being bent won't cause any more problems. Okay, so the next game is Super Mario RPG, which is a really pretty game. And definitely requires the add-on chip to get some of the sort of 3D, pre-rendered 3D effects that it has. As you can see, comes up no problem. Now I've heard this one is very problematic for a lot of clone systems. This one and the last one we're going to do, Yoshi's Island, are apparently really problems for a lot of clone systems. Some just won't even load them at all. But this one works just fine. No problem at all. Talk to Toad here. And then he's going to tell me about, well, you need to go deal with this castle thing. And then I'll go over to the castle. As you can see, no problems here. Cool castle cutscene with the giant sword. Okay. So thankfully, the bent tooth didn't cause any problems there. The last game we're going to test is Yoshi's Island. And here it is. And as you can see, comes up perfectly. Now I've heard that on some systems, if this game does run at all, the graphics will be really messed up. As you can see here, There's no problems with the graphics on this opening screen. Everything's normal. So basically, other than a few problems with the contacts inside the contact pins, and needing to clean some of my games, I've had zero problems with any of the add-on chip games that I've run on this thing. In fact, I've had no problems with any game that I've run on this thing. It's run all of them that I've tried perfectly. With, of course, perhaps the exception of the Super Game Boy 2 sound being a little bit weird. But really, I mean, you're talking about an emulator inside of an emulator, or a clone system inside of a clone system, basically. So you might as well just play that on the original hardware if you've got a Game Boy or a Game Boy Color, or even a Game Boy Advance, instead of playing it on this. But all in all, surprisingly, this is another great feature of this system. It really does work well. I wish its contacts were locked in place a little bit better, but in general, this is still a really great way to go, even with the add-on chip games. And that's something that a lot of clone systems can't say. Hope you've enjoyed watching. If you like it, please follow. I'll be doing a lot of more videos as I find new and interesting things in Japan. Also, later I might be doing another video where I will test the PokeFami DX out with the Capcom Fighting Stick, some programmable gamepads, and the Super Nintendo mouse with Mario Paint. See you next time.